The next interview is with two elite professors and international experts. We are here to discuss with Professor Andrew Kakabadse and Professor Nada Kakabadse about the future of governance, ethical leadership and boardroom transformation. And we benefit from their international and practical expertise in domain. And we'll start our interview by asking Professor Kakabadse, Andrew Kakabadse, in the field of governance and leadership, what distinguish highly effective boards from those that struggle, and what governance models work best in today's rapidly changing business environment?
Thank you. What seems to work today is, number one, the realization by the chair of the board and the board itself that governance is now more important than ever. The fact that you need a body to oversee assets, be they a company in the private sector, in the markets, or in public services, and realize greater value out of them, is because trust in society, unfortunately, is diminishing. So now the chair and the board are becoming the center of trust. And how the chair and the board really function is going to make those assets realize value, increase share price, have better services for the community or not. So number one, that realization. Number two, it's the chair. Never before have we had the role of chair so important. It was the CEO, it was the individual that promoted strategy, it was strategy delivery. Now it's the person that oversees and says, are we doing the right thing? And even if we are doing the right thing, is it time to sell the company? So a CEO would be more concerned with, do we deliver strategy well? The chair would say, where is the market going? And if we deliver strategy exceptionally well, is it now time to realize these assets and invest somewhere else? The outstanding companies have paid so much attention to the education and development of their top executives and also their board members. I have to say that education they've invested a great deal. So you will find the classical programs across the world from Harvard, Yale, Kellogg, INSEAD, IMD, and our place Henley. They have invested career paths so that those individuals are not only kept up to date, they know how to shape a market, or they know how to shape an expectation in a community in such a way that some benefit will emerge better than expected. So if you're going to have a world-class board, number one, you select a world-class chair. And if you select a world-class chair, you better understand what business you're in and what makes that chair and that company world-class.
Thank you very much, Andrew. And I'm sure that these topics will be also approached in the masterclass we will have after the conference. And the next question is, with digital transformation and increased regulation, how should corporate boards evolve to maintain strategically agility and accountability?
It's a very interesting question, and it needs to be split into two. Number one, the digital area, the technology, the artificial intelligence area. And although that technology is distinctly complex, and I do recognize that many boards don't really understand the technology, what you need is a good expert that will take you through it. But you don't need that expert on your board. What you need on your board is a very clear understanding of competitive advantage, or what adds value to the community if you're a public service organization. One statistic from our research, when we looked at the UK, the FTSE 100, 200 and 300, 85% of board members did not know, could not tell you, did not have an appreciation of the competitive advantage of their firm. Now, if that is such a low insight, not only do you not understand how AI could help you, you don't understand how to undertake a merger, or an activity such as a takeover, or how to prevent a collapse of a company. So number one with technology is being so clear about what is your competitive advantage. Then the education on the technology, that can be bought in. But what cannot be bought in is how you use that technology to gain advantage. With other developments, such as sustainability and so on, it really then depends on the same issue. What adds value? What makes the difference? And how much have you invested in terms of your education on those particular processes?
Thank you very much. I'm very happy that in all your answers we hear about education and the importance of education in these times, especially for leaders. And now one question for Professor Nada Kakabadse. How can organizations move beyond compliance to truly integrate ethics and sustainability into their governance frameworks?
Thank you for the question. Boards, and particularly chairs, are responsible for setting the tone for whole organization. So it's really how the chair, particularly, and the board with the chair, define oversight, how much emphasis they put on the compliance, how much on the stewardship, and how do they find that balance. In many cases, that require mind shift as well, because a lot of boards are quite locked in the compliance part of the oversight, and that requires. So it is really important to have a chair who can guide the board in defining that. And when talking about stewardship, that includes really looking for a long term of organization, the values that the organization does, how decisions are made, are they met ethically or not, sustainability issues, really sustainability of organization in the long term, as well as sustainability how we use resources. So it's really depending on the chair and the board.
Thank you very much. And what role does governance play in fostering trust and responsible leadership in an era of uncertainty and rapid change?
I think Andrew already mentioned that we're living now in the very unpredictable times. So the trust in society is very low, so it's probably lower than for many, many years we have seen. There is a lot of unpredictability, and we don't know what's going to happen. So really, the trust at organizational level is very important. So boards are now responsible for ensuring the trust with the stakeholders. And of course, because the boards have many misalignments, so they're really having addressed those misalignments between various stakeholder demands and organizations' goals in the long term, it's very, very important. And it's also introducing transparency of materiality, so that it's very important to ensure that trust is there in the organization.
Thank you very much. So trust is the most important value these days, not only for the internal, let's say, customers and clients, but also for the entire society.
A whole society, because when we're talking about stakeholders, there are internal, external stakeholders, so it be society at large as well.
Thank you very much, and I will have some questions for you both. The first one is looking ahead, what are the most critical shifts in governance that will shape leadership and boardroom dynamics over the next decade?
3, as far as I can see. The 3 big shifts will be, number 1, geopolitics. And we cannot escape that because we can see what's happening now from China to Eastern Europe, the response of America. Why is that there? Because it's about resources. And the resources that we're talking about are Eurasia in Russia. Who is going to access those resources? Is it going to be through military? Is it going to be through peaceful means, which is what Trump is trying to do? But whichever way you look at it, it's controversial. So the geopolitical shifts are going to mean that every government structure is going to, unfortunately, be at risk in one way or another. Now that means for the company, they have to decide where the markets are. It means for a charity, they have to decide where to invest their money so that they can undertake the work to develop those communities. The second big shift is the word we've used, and Nada's used it repeatedly, it's the word trust. How would you build trust? Well, we've had various programs, we've had diversity, we've had equity, we've had inclusion, and you've just seen in America that those particular programs have been scrapped. Now, why were they scrapped? Because it was felt that the merit component of diversity, inclusion, equity, ESG, all those movements was lost, or at least badly deteriorated. So what happened in America, and I think it will be for the rest of the world, is until you bring merit back, the most able person for the best job, and not just have diversity on its own, it's merit linked with diversity, is going to make the difference. And the other one we've also mentioned, it's technology. How do we introduce technology? And the answer is, if you don't have a clear view on competitive advantage, you actually don't know what technology to use.
And also, if I can add, with technology, especially with artificial intelligence, it's unregulated. So it brings quite a lot of complexity to the board because, first of all, they don't understand the technology. Secondly, they do not know how ethical or unethical, how biased or not biased the technology is. So it is a quite Pandora's box.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, very interesting. This is why we will launch at Envisia Boards of Elite a certificate in ethical artificial intelligence. So stay tuned.
Stay tuned.
Thank you very much. You are both esteemed professors in board practice and directorship program offered by Henley Business School in partnership with Envisia Boards of Elite. Could you please highlight what makes this program unique in the international academic landscape?
Two things. One was the global research. We've gone into over 40 countries. We've looked at governance practices, leadership practices. We've looked at ethical behaviors. We've looked at board dynamic behaviors with a sample of well over 20,000 plus. And what has emerged is certain trends. The best practice trends are the components of the degree program at Henley with Envisia. The second thing that emerged is, unlike many of the other programs that concentrate on governance, compliance, order, regulation, processes, what has emerged is board dynamics and particular roles like the role of the chair, the role of the company secretary, the role of the CEO. How do these very prominent and active roles continually make a difference when in fact the market, communities, politics are constantly changing? So you'll find on the Henley Envisia program psychometric tests that are not used on other programs, which give people a very good view on whether they have a mind for complexity and whether they have a personality and an orientation for adaptability.
Thank you very much.
If I can add additional two things, Andrew mentioned the first thing that is bringing board role behaviors and to the master level, as well. This program is based on global research. The third thing is also that this program is delivered by people who have practical experience in directorship roles under very difficult circumstances, and we're dealing with very complex issue. And also the fourth thing is that the program puts emphasis on directors' development over education, although there is a strong component of education and scholarship. So it's a four things put together in a unique way that makes this program very special.
Thank you very much. We are very happy and honored to have you, both of you, as professors and facilitators within the program. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.